Okay, hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first video in which I'm going to show you my quick and easy procedural mushroom generator in Blender geometry nodes. So let's just get into it. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do when you open up your new Blender file is you're gonna press A and you're gonna delete the standard cube. Then by pressing Shift A, going to curve, pressing Bezier, we're gonna add a Bezier curve. Right now it's laying flat, so we're gonna press R for rotation, and we're gonna twist it around the Y axis. You can also do this by hand over here. I'm just gonna do it like this. And then by pressing Y, we can align it. Let's align it to X. And then by pressing G, locking it to the Z axis, we're gonna move it up a little bit so it's nice like this. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go over here and you're gonna add the geometry nodes editor and you're gonna press new. Then by going here, usually this is set at timeline, so we're gonna change this by pressing this and going to geometry node editor. Okay, so what we're gonna do now with this Bezier curve, basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna create this into the stem, and later you're gonna be able to draw these Bezier curves by hand, and then it will add the top of the mushroom on top of it itself. So this is basically the stem of the mushroom, and then it's gonna create a cap part of the mushroom on top of it. Okay, so drag these apart. Then what we're gonna do first, we're gonna press Shift A and we're gonna type in resample curve, and we're gonna put it in our node system. I'm gonna change the count right now to, say, 30. Then what we're gonna do is go Shift A again, and we're gonna add a set curve radius, and we're gonna add it in our node system. You don't have to change anything right now. Then you're gonna add a curve to mesh, this one, and add it in the node system. And then for the profile curve, we're gonna add a Shift A curve circle. Boom. Drag that into the profile curve. And you can see it's already a little bit like a hair. But I'm gonna change this resolution to, I'll leave the resolution like that. Okay, then we're gonna add a math node, like that, and we're gonna change it instead of add to multiply add. And we're gonna get a spline parameter. And this length is going into the value, and then we're going to grab a random value. I'm going to put it over here, and then the minimum is going to be 0.4, and the maximum is going to be 0.6. And you can change the C to whatever you like your favorite number, 101, that's fine. And this value is going into the multiplier over here. Then we're going to grab this value out of the multiply add, and this is going into the radius. Boom! You can see right now it's already like a bit of like a, yeah, it looks a bit weird. We're going to fill caps right here to fill up the cap. And then I'm going to show you a little bit. You can change this. I'm going to change this to 0.4. And then you can change the radius by changing this over here, and you can also kind of make it less wiggly if you want, a little bit more low poly, or like that if you want. You can do it however you like. I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna make the radius a little bit smaller, like that. Okay, then I'm just gonna grab these, and I'm already also going to add in here a join geometry node, because we're gonna need that later. I'm gonna add it in here. And this is basically how you create the stem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these ones. I'm going to leave out the join geometry and the input and the output, and I'm going to do Control J, and this will put it nice and neatly into this little box. And then we can rename this by pressing F2. Oh, it's not working for me. Or you right mouse and you scroll down to rename, and I'm going to add a label, and this label is going to be called create stem. Boom. Okay, so now that we have created our stem, I've changed it around a little bit, so I changed the count to 13 here. Left this and I changed the addend to 0.2, and I messed around a little bit with the radius here. So if you want, you can copy this. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add the top cap. So how are we going to do that? Okay, so we're going to press shift right mouse button and we're going to drag here to create another point. This point we're going to drag out and we're going to do curve to points like that. Then this one we're going to drag out points and we're going to type instance on points. Boom. And we're going to leave it like this for now. And just to make it easy, we are going to just head on. We're going to do Shift A and we're going to do curve circle. Boom. Put it there. Drag out curve. Type curve to mesh. We're going to add a curve to mesh node. You can leave it like this. We're going to drag out the profile curve and we're going to do a Bezier segment. Boom. Then we're just going to leave the settings for now like this. And this is going to be the top of the cap. But to make it easy, we're also already going to add the bottom cap right now. So we're going to do Shift A again and we're going to type cone. Boom. And then from cone, from the mesh, we're going to drag out and we're going to type delete geometry. We're going to change point here to face and we're going to drag out the bottom and we're going to put that into selection. From there, we're going to drag out this one and we're going to put a join geometry. Boom. And then you can grab this mesh and we can put it in here. And then from the geometry, we can go into instance on the instance on points. And then we can drag out instances and we can drag it into here. Boom. Now you can see this. This looks really weird. This doesn't look like a mushroom at all. How is this possible? All right, so I'm going to show you. It's because this curve to points node stands on count, but it divides basically an amount of points on the original Bezier curve that we got. We're going to change this count to 1 because we just want one cap, not multiple caps. So right now this looks very weird. And I'm going to show you how you can change this. So we're going to go up to Bezier segment and we're going to change these settings. So these are my settings, so you can just follow along if you want. I'm going to change this resolution to 32. The start is going to be -1. The second one is going to be -0.4. And the Z is going to be 0. The X of the start handle is going to be 0.3. The Y is going to be -0.1. And the Z is going to be 0.4. Oh, 0.4, excuse me. End handle, you're going to leave 0, 0, 0, and the end, this one is also going to be 0. Boom, like this. And now this looks pretty weird because we have this cone over here that is just blocking it up. So we're going to change the cone settings. So you're going to go to cone. And vertices, I'm going to change to 64 to match the Bezier segment one. Side segments is going to be 10. And fill segments is going to be 4. Radius top, you're going to leave at 0. Radius bottom, you're going to leave at 1. And the depth is going to be 0.3. Boom. And as you can see right now, we have a beautiful little cap here. So you can see the bottom with the spores, because that's the vertices of the cone, which kind of look like spores of a real mushroom. And you can see the top, which is nice and smooth and mushroom shaped. The problem we have right now is it's rotated. So how are we going to change that? We are going to add a, first we're going to drag out here this tangent, boom, and we're going to do align rotation to vector. So align rotation to vector, and you're going to grab this one, the vector one, this one, boom. We're going to leave these settings for now, and we're just going to grab this rotation, and it's going into rotation. As you can see now, what this does is it aligns the rotation of the mushroom cap on the Bezier curve, the original Bezier curve. So it follows the flow of the Bezier curve, and this is what we're going to want in the end when we're going to draw these mushrooms. But as you can see now, it's flipped around, so we don't want that. So how we're going to change that right now is we're going to do Shift A, and we're going to add a transform geometry, and we're going to put this after the join geometry here. We're going to add it in here. And this rotation, we're just going to change the X to 180, flip it around. And as you can see now, it's perfectly good, but this stem is not connected to the top. So we're going to translate it like this. So this is, the Z is going to be 0.3, which connects it perfectly. And what we're going to do now is we're going to clean it up a little bit for ourselves, because it's always nice to work nice and clean. So we're going to select the cone and the delete geometry, and we're going to do Control J, and we're going to rename this to create bottom cap, like that. Then we're going to select all the other ones here, Control J, and we're going to rename it to create top cap, boom. Okay, so when you have grouped these and made them a little neat, you already kind of you're already done basically, because you already made a mushroom generator right now. So I'm just gonna demo it for you. So if you go up here into your viewport and you change to edit mode, you can do that by pressing tab, or just going over here and pressing edit mode, and then you press draw, and you draw a little mushroom. You can play around a little bit, make them weird, whatever you want. And you see how this stem is very wide right now. You can go up to create stem here, and you can just change the radius here, for example. So now you get a little bit of a different type of mushroom. But we're not done yet, because these caps always stay the same size, but we don't want that. We want the size of the cap to be random. So we're gonna do that by going into create top cap here, and we are going to add a combine XYZ. I'm just gonna leave it over here, make a little bit of room for ourselves here, and then we're gonna add a random value. And the minus is going to be 0.8, and the max is going to be 1. And we're going to drag this one into the X, change the seed up to something, and we're going to minimize it. And then by pressing Ctrl C and Ctrl V, we can duplicate it, put it into Y, do it again, put it into Z. And we're going to change these seeds to different, they all have to be different, because seeds, like, it's not never really random. And then this vector is going to go into scale. And now, every time we draw a new mushroom, it's going to be in size, in the X, Y, and Z size, it's going to be just a little bit different. So this one's a bit elongated. So that's how we're going to change the size. But then we're still not there yet, because we also want a material. Because if you look here and you do viewport shading, you can see we just have no material, and this doesn't look very good. So I got something installed called blenderkit. I'll leave a link in the bio how to install blenderkit. And if you go over here and click material, and you look for example, mushroom, I don't know if mushrooms in here, we can see this one, and I really like this one. So by pressing it, you can see already it applied the texture, but only to the stem. And how is this possible? We're gonna grab Shift A, set material, put it over here, And this is the create stamp, and we can select mushroom skin. Then we're also gonna add another one, set material, and we're gonna put it, let's see, we're gonna put it here, and we're gonna put it to this one. And now you've got yourself a little mushroom. It's a bit dark. Maybe change it to cycles. I don't recommend this, but so that's going to be it.